Welcome to all Caribbean entrepreneurs. If you've been ready and waiting to take your business digital and get paid online while you sip something strong on the beach, this podcast is for you. We'll hear from the Caribbean's finest entrepreneurs on topics like e-commerce, business development, brand building, social media, their wins and failures. This is the only place in the region helping you navigate the digital age from the Caribbean's perspective. This is Digipreneur FM. And now, let's give it up for the Digiboss himself, Mr. Karan Rose.
Thank you. You are far too kind. How are you all doing today? This is another episode of the Digipreneur FM podcast, and it's your host, Mr. Karan Rose. And I could not be happier to be live and direct talking to you once again. You know, when it comes to creating content, I put out a wide variety of different types of content. But honestly, there's something so magical about podcasting. It gives me things that I love about, why I like to do video, but why I like to blog. And what it really does is that I love blogging because I can, it's just me. I get to turn the lights off. I get to put on my Philips Hue play lights, and I get to set the mood with whatever color I'm feeling for whenever I'm getting ready to record. And while I'm, getting my script and my outline, done up, I get to play music. I get to have some fun. I get to energize myself. That way, when I turn this microphone on, it's kind of like a continuation of the energy that I just created in my environment, right? And the thing is that because it's a podcast, and I don't typically do a live video podcast. Sometimes I might allow the Instagram family to see the behind the scenes of me getting hyped up and then me actually recording the podcast. And then when I turn off the podcast recording, I would engage with the Instagram family and answer any questions live. Sometimes I'll do that, but there has to be a mood for that, and I'm rarely in the mood to do that, right? So with blogging, I like the fact that it's just me. I get to do my thing. Podcasting, I get to kind of, you get to hear the energy of when I do these things. So I get to play my music. I come on here. You guys get to hear me, but I don't have to be visible. So I love doing podcasting for that. I'm not always in the mood to do live streaming video, recorded video, but blogging, writing, and even podcasting has just been so much fun. So anyways, I digress. That is just a little, a little behind the scenes, just giving you guys a little thoughts, some of my inside thoughts, right? So today's episode, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today's episode, we're going to be doing a case study. And this case study is on content monetization. So let me give you a little background as to how this came up. Yesterday, I was doing what a lot of us do when we wake up in the morning. Before we decide to roll out of bed, how many of you guys and gals, grab your phone and you guys just start to aimlessly scroll through any of your favorite social media platforms, right? Smile, say yes, give yourself a nod, chuckle if this is you. I know some of you guys are woke people, and you ain't grabbing your phone first thing in the morning. You're going to go roll out of bed and go meditate or work out or some kind of, productive thing like that. But not me. When I wake up, I lay there for a few minutes and, I grab my phone, check the time, and, I kind of just, give myself a little bit of time to just scroll through social media and, and see what's interesting. I don't typically aimlessly scroll like when I'm awake, but like when I wake up, I may just go through social media and kind of see, what are interesting stories, what are, some funny videos, things like that. So anyways, I woke up yesterday and one of the videos recommended from Facebook Watch that showed up in my feed was this girl who built an aquarium, and she built an obstacle course from scratch for her axolotl. And this axolotl is like this fish with feet, and it just looks like a lizard or a salamander, but lives underwater. So she has one of these things, and she built an obstacle course for it. And, again, if it was, at any other point in the day, I would have probably bypassed that. But because she caught me, the video caught me, during the time period where I will aimlessly scroll and watch these types of videos, I watched it. It was a 3-minute long video, so not too long, but it was, short, sweet, to the point, but very good. And it caught me because, for one, I was like, what the heck is that? What is that thing in the, as she's talking about, axolotl? I've never heard of that. But it looked like this cross between a salamander and a fish, and it's underwater, and it caught my attention, right? And she's building an obstacle course for this thing. So I'm like, now I know people build obstacle courses for all sorts of, creatures. Like I seen a video where this person did a puzzle for a crow. And whoever doesn't know, but crows and ravens have like the intelligence of somebody in grade 3. They're extremely intelligent birds, right? So it caught my attention. So I'm watching her build the obstacle course. So she's building it all from scratch. And while she's building it, she's telling you about all the different components that she's putting into the aquarium. She's telling you, why she's using this particular sand, why she's putting these particular trees. She's explaining to you about how the axolotl's brain works. Like, there was so much information that she packed in while she's building the course. And I felt like I learned so much about, the environment, the axolotl. So it was good, right? Anyways, after she builds it, she puts the axolotl through the obstacle course, and then she kind of explains what the axolotl is thinking, and how she encourages it along to do the obstacle course. And at the end of the 3 minutes, the axolotl completes the course and gets its favorite snack, right? So after watching it, and I learned all this information that I'm probably never going to use about axolotl and building an aquarium and whatnot, building a little obstacle course for these things, it got me thinking. One of the practices that I do, and this is something that I always have to be conscious of doing it. Otherwise, I may just not do it. But I have to be conscious of, whenever I watch content or see businesses online on social media, I always try to be cognizant of looking to see how they have built their platform. Go beyond the content that they're showing us and look at things like, content distribution, the platforms they're using, how are they monetizing. Like, I tend to turn everything into a case study to myself. That way I could learn about, what tools they're using, what techniques they're using, how are they making their money, where are they pushing their traffic. I do that for almost everything, right? But again, it's something that I always have to tell myself to do, so I could try to exercise that muscle. That way, again, I'm looking beyond just what I see. And it's always served me well, because a lot of the things that I've learned and a lot of the tools and strategies and things that I've learned have simply been because I've just watched other people put it in play. And mind you, they're not teaching you about marketing or monetizing. They're teaching you about their thing. So this is something that I encourage you to do. Whenever you are watching, what seems like aimless content, do yourself a favor and turn it into a case study. That way you can learn from it. Don't just watch the content for what it is. Don't just watch it. Don't just watch what they're giving you. Look beyond it, because there are going to be some valuable lessons that you learn, which is why this happened today. So I made a small post about it yesterday, But that small post with me just sharing it and me just giving some high level, information as to why I like this, why I liked what she did and, some of the things that she's doing, it led me down to a whole rabbit hole yesterday of me learning about other forms of monetization from particularly Facebook that I did not know Facebook had rolled out. And I didn't even know we were eligible for here in the Caribbean. So anyways, let's get on with the case study. So what I liked about this, the platform or the channel is called Aquarium Info. All right? It's called Aquarium Info. So this case study is on Aquarium Info. The digital age twist in starting a business is so present in this case study. Now, she could have taken out a loan to open up a fish store. She would have bought all of the equipment and she would have put herself into thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands in debt to get this fish store started. And I mean, if any of you guys have ever had an aquarium or have an aquarium, you guys know how much it costs just to get, one tank sorted out, much less going and renting out a space, renovating, getting all the supplies, the equipment, the fish, the food, yada, 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 right? It takes a lot of money to get a fish store started. So what did she do? She decided to get creative, and she turned her second bedroom in her apartment into a studio where she would film all of her fish creations. She could have started off with a few $100s just to get some of the basic equipment. She could have used cheap gear to film, or she probably even borrowed equipment. She probably even borrowed equipment to start filming just to get herself off the ground, right? And what I like is that because a lot of the stuff that she does is DIY, she's using a lot of, makeshift materials to get things started. And then obviously she has, the appropriate stuff so that the fish can survive and be healthy in the water that she's, in the environments that she's putting them into, right? So the video that caught my eye, as I said, was, this video on her axolotl and her building this obstacle course. Her content is incredible. Just going through some of the other videos on her Facebook page and her Instagram, the videos are incredible. She takes content that somebody who may not even care much about fish, and she gives you interesting twists to it to engage you. She showcases, how intelligent these fish are. She gives you ideas on how to turn aquariums into talking pieces in your homes. And then she educates you on the animals and environments. And she does this consistently. And the videos is, again, just super engaging, super fun. It's really enjoyable, depending on, whether you're looking at it from I want to learn about fish, or I like fish and this is a hobby, so you're watching it for that. Whether you're looking at, creating like statement pieces in your house, she's making some really good things that you could create or you could buy or get her to come and build it for you, right? She's making some really good pieces that you could put inside your house, and when people walk in, they're like, oh, wow, what the heck is this, right? So in all of that, I love that she also gives you DIY tutorials on building your own aquarium. So like if you're somebody looking for a nice hobby, you want to try some things out, you can also watch her channel for DIY tutorials, and it's really good for that. She has a super, super friendly SEO name for all of her platforms called Aquarium Info. It's a good variation of a very popular search term, aquarium. It's self-explanatory, it's easy to remember, and she also ranks number 1 on Google for the term Aquarium Info. She's consistent, and she focuses on 3 main channels. Her main channel is Facebook, secondary channel is Instagram, and the third channel that she's on is YouTube. So on Facebook, she has 1.9 million followers. On Instagram, let me just quickly pull that up because I forgot to make note of her Instagram following. But her Instagram following has 94,000 followers. And then her YouTube following, she has 16,000 followers. Now, she started out Facebook in 2015, and then she started to pump content on Instagram and YouTube just last year, right? So those two channels are not even a full year old as yet. Now, let's talk about the monetization, right? So the content is good. It's beautiful, super engaging, and she's consistent, right? And it's going to appeal to, different people for different reasons. Whether you are a DIY person, whether you want something catchy in your house, whether you are into fish, this is going to appeal to different people. But let's talk about the monetization. So after I'm watching this video, I decided, well, let me look at, how is she making money? How is she turning this hobby? Because obviously these things cost money. So, what is the return on investment looking like for her? Now, I don't have exact numbers, but we can do some pretty decent size guesstimating. And then on top of that, we can see how she's monetizing. I might not have the exact figures, but I know how she's monetizing. And this is the main part of the case study that I wanted to share with you guys, right? So she's on those 3 channels. She's putting out this content on fishes. How is she monetizing? So she monetizes in 3 main areas that I can see. There are 3 main areas that I can see, and there are 3 other ways that I believe she is monetizing. I just haven't 100% confirmed, but based on just the language on her platforms, I would imagine that these are the other 3 ways that she's monetizing. So the 3 ways that I can see right off the bat is she's monetizing through YouTube AdSense. So her videos on YouTube are monetizable, right? So she's monetizing through there, making that YouTube money. She is monetizing through Facebook subscriptions. So when you go to her platform on Facebook, and this is her main channel, right? When you go to her Facebook page, there's a button that says become a supporter, and you can sign up to support her channel through a monthly subscription, right? Keep in mind, she has 1.9 million followers on Facebook, and almost all of her videos go viral. Like it's super huge engagement happening on her Facebook videos. And the third way that I can see 100% that she's monetizing is she's monetizing through Amazon affiliates. So she has set up an Amazon store, and all of the products that she utilizes in her videos, she has them in her Amazon store. So you can click on the link to her Amazon store. She, lists out the different pieces in each of the videos that she is using, and then you could go to her Amazon store, purchase them, and then she's making the commissions from the Amazon affiliate sales, right? Now, the other 3 ways that I would imagine she's monetizing, she doesn't outright say it, but you can contact her about these things. So this is why I'm 99% sure she's monetizing in these 3 ways. But the other 3 ways would be appearances and speaking gigs, because you can contact her for those things, right? So I would imagine she does paid speaking gigs, paid appearances. I could imagine schools bringing her out to, with some of these fishes and different things to educate on that. I would imagine she's, speaking in places where people are asking her about her journey and, how to build on social media. I'd imagine she's doing that. You can contact her to do special projects, right? So whether that means, she's coming in there to build particular things for you specifically, And then she also says you can reach out to her for consultations. So I would imagine, naturally those are paid consultations where if you need her assistance on building out whatever you're looking to build out, she's available for those things as well. So those are 6 different areas that she could monetize. 3, again, I can confirm because I'm seeing it. The other 3, you have to reach out to her for those things, but I would imagine that they are paid. They are paid for as well. So potential earnings. So what does all this mean, right? Now, again, I don't have access to the figures in terms of what she is making, but I thought it would be fun to kind of speculate and, err on the side of caution and use some of the lower numbers as to how she could be making some money, right? So with YouTube, now she has 17,000 followers on YouTube, and on average, she gets between 3,000 to 7,000 views on a video, right? So there are tools that have some algorithms to kind of calculate, what YouTube channels are making. And with her following and engagement right now, and again, remember, her YouTube channel is not even a year old. So there's a lot of upside on her YouTube. But her YouTube channel, based on some of the tools I checked out, she could average anywhere between $400 to $600 a month. Now, 600 USD, for people in the Caribbean, especially in the Caribbean, man, 600 USD is higher than minimum wage. And she'd be making that, just off of YouTube, given the views that she gets on that platform. Right? That's more than what some people are making on minimum wage a month. She's making that just off of YouTube, right? And that's directly from YouTube. That's not even, considering all of the opportunities that YouTube generates. That would just be, YouTube mailing out a check to her every single month. So right now, again, the channel is less than a year old. If she's making anywhere between $400 to $600 a month. Now, here's the one that is really interesting. So like I said, she has 1.9 million followers on Facebook. Okay? 1.9 million followers on Facebook. And she has set up Facebook subscriptions. So Facebook has a wide variety of ways that you can monetize. There is, ads in your content that she can monetize from. So she's potentially making money from the ads being run on her content from Facebook. Matter of fact, I know she is, right? You could do ads during live streams. Now, I haven't seen, just going through her platform, I haven't seen her do live streaming, but she'd be eligible to do ads on the live stream. There's also Facebook stars, so people can purchase stars, and then when they're watching your content or whatever, they could send you stars, and that would turn into currency for her. So that'd be another way that she can monetize. But most importantly, she has set up Facebook subscriptions. So her subscribers can subscribe to her monthly. It's almost like Patreon, where creators can set up a monthly subscription service so you can subscribe to their content, and that would give you access to exclusive content, merch, behind the scenes, and whatever else that they're willing to give you for the subscription, and then you're also supporting the channel, right? So at 1.9 million followers, she has it set up that you can subscribe to her channel on Facebook for $4 a month, $4.99. So let's call it $5, all right? So let's have some fun here. Let's say that 5% of the following is paying her that $5 a month. Let's just say 5% of her 1.9 million followers on Facebook have subscribed. 5% of 1.9 million is 95,000 people, right? That's just 5% of the 1.9 million people. So if 95,000 people have subscribed to $5 a month, that would net her $475,000 US per month. Per month. And again, these things are not far-fetched because we know creatives are making super duper amounts of money, We know that, right? We know that. We know creators are making millions of dollars, right? So this is not far-fetched. So if 5% of her 1.9 million followers are making or have subscribed to the $5 a month to support the channel, that would net her $475,000 per month. Let's take it a step further. Let's say if half of the 1.9 million people have subscribed to her platform, right? Let's say half of that, half of 1.9 million is 950,000 people, right? So let's say half of those people paid her $1 a month. Well, that means 950K USD a month. A month. Wow. Right? And that's just one form of monetization. And that's just being, again, that's if half the people just gave her $1 a month. Right? Now she also sells on Amazon Associates, right? So she has an Amazon store and she links to all of the products that she talks about on Amazon. Now, because she's in the fish and aquarium category, Amazon had reduced, because of COVID, Amazon had reduced the commissions they are paying out because of COVID. The commissions used to be higher, but they reduced all of the commission fees due to COVID. So I'm sure that that's going to raise when we get into a better position. But as of right now, the category that she is in, she's going to be making 3% off of all the sales that she does. So anytime you purchase any of the products that she is talking about, she's going to make 3% off of the total value of those sales. So I mean, this one isn't too this isn't too crazy, but let's just say if she sold $35,000 worth of product for that month, in gross, 3% commission would be at about $1,000 a month, right? So, I mean, I should have saved the Facebook one for last, because now it sounds like, wait a minute, she's making, $400,000 a month off of Facebook subscriptions. What's $1,000 on Amazon Associates, right? I should have probably saved that other one. I should have saved the Facebook one for last to kind of build up for that. But, I mean, the Amazon Associates now seems a bit anticlimactic. But nonetheless, right? If she sells 3% of let's just say $35,000 worth of equipment, that's $1,000 a month. That's $1,050 USD a month, right? So again, and those are just 3 different ways that she's monetizing off of the content, right? And then maybe her consultations are pretty expensive. I could imagine that. I could imagine to get her in the room to consult with you on building out your aquarium project. Yeah, I'd imagine she comes at a good fee. If she's doing paid speaking gigs, once again, I'd imagine she comes with a good fee. And if you are getting her involved in terms of building, your special project, I would imagine she is coming with a solid fee to get involved for your special projects, your consultations, and for speaking gigs. So this is something that I want to encourage everybody to do. When you see, viral content, look at the creators, look at the platforms they're using, and start looking at ways that these people would typically monetize. Ones that you can see, and kind of think about some areas that they are probably monetizing if it's not, outright. And then do this. So this is another thing that I like to do. I like to look at, what are some of the ways that, maybe they're not doing too well, and what are some areas that they could improve on. So with Aquarium Info, here are a couple of ways I think when I look through her platforms, these are some areas that she could improve. Now, again, this is to help me. This is not, recommendations to her, but this is just so that you guys can spot things that other people are not seeing as well, that you might do differently, and you could add those things into your brand, right? Areas I think she could improve is I would love to see her have her own website, because a platform that she controls would help increase her traffic to not only her content, but also bring more traffic to her affiliate links. She currently doesn't have a website or a platform that she controls. Her content would be SEO friendly, because now when folks are Googling for info on particular products, either her content can show up with the answer or the products that she recommends can. Now, YouTube is a search engine, but the combination of having your website optimized with, your content, your products, some more, written dialogue on the website alongside YouTube creates a powerful SEO and discoverability strategy. She could also run ads on her website from Google AdSense, right? And this would be an additional revenue stream. Or she could run promo ads from any of the companies that she works with. So I see that some of the products that she does recommend is from other suppliers. So I would imagine that she is an affiliate for those suppliers as well. She could give them promo space on her website, which would generate an additional income stream, or just sign up for Google AdSense for your website. And again, because she already gets so much traffic on her social media platforms, if people are now coming to her website, she would make some really good money on Google AdSense as well. And again, that would be another income stream, and she could be making hundreds of thousands of dollars from website visits from Google AdSense. I'd love to see her tighten up her Instagram. She needs to add something like a link tree with her key relevant links to help with navigation to her Amazon store, her YouTube channel, Facebook page, or anything else she's looking to point people to. Currently on her link tree, currently she does not have a link tree or a similar service. She just has a link to her YouTube channel. So I think she could tighten up there. Another thing with Linktree in specifically, and I think you could probably do this on some of the other services, but I know this is something Linktree just added the other day. She could set up a donation link on Linktree so that her Instagram family could support the platform. So there's she could connect her PayPal account. Linktree has a drop-down menu, and you can kind of specify, what payment options. So it could be $5, $1, $10, $20, or the person could enter in how much they want to donate to the platform. And I mean, she is doing something similar like that on Facebook. So why not do it on Instagram? And again, that would be another way for you to generate revenue, because you do have a sizable following on Instagram with 94,000 followers on the platform, right? So setting up Linktree, setting up the donation link so the Instagram family can be a part in donating to your platform. If she also had a website, she could set up Instagram shopping and connect them. That way she could get into product tagging. So, we know that she's listing out a lot of the products that she talks about, so she could tag the products, and this would increase more opportunities for affiliate sales, whether it be to her website or over to her Amazon store, all right? So in closing, folks, I challenge all of you tuning in to go past just consuming content, especially viral content, regardless of who is putting it out. Do a bit of research. Look at their platforms and check out how they are creating content, where they are distributing the content, what platforms are they invested in, and what are their different ways of monetizing what they are doing. This can give you ideas within your own business. Something as simple as the Axolotl obstacle course video had me doing a deeper dive into Facebook monetization and scoping out how she set up her Amazon store. I hope you enjoyed this case study on Aquarium Info. And that's it from me today, folks. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you drop a review. The reviews help grow the Digipreneur FM podcast. It helps it grows across the world. You guys can, rate the podcast as well. Don't forget to subscribe to Karen Rose on any of the social media platforms, or, jump onto KarenRose.com, subscribe, and you're going to be able to learn more about me. You could subscribe to the digipreneur.fm website to keep abreast of all of the latest podcast episodes as well. That's it from me, folks. Take care.
You've been listening to the Digiboss, Karen Rose. We hope your notepad was filled after this episode. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. The learning doesn't stop, folks. And to make sure you don't miss any gems from the Digiboss, go over and follow him on all social media platforms at Karen Rose. Folks, don't just sit there with a notepad. We need you to implement at least one thing into your business before the next episode. That's the only way your business levels up. Thanks for listening to Digipreneur FM. Now go be great.